Yeah, no, I know they said they want it back. I'm not giving it back. I'm keeping it.
Bro, we're recording right now.
You are? We're recording? Okay, good. Fezzari, I hope you're listening. I'm keeping this Signal Peak. You can bring yourselves out here to the mountain bike capital of the world and get it. Come on. All right, what's happening, crew? We're here, a new zone here in Bentonville, the mountain bike capital of the world. It's Outerbike weekend, which is a very exciting weekend, but I'm even more excited because right here I have the all-new Fezzari Signal Peak. Now, I knew this bike has been coming, and I knew this particular bike was making its way here to Bentonville so I could give it a ride. Now, this is a first impression, so keep that in mind. This is not a thorough review by any means because I've only been on the bike for a day, but I'm gonna break it down very simply. I feel about this bike the way I feel about the Transition Spur. Now, I know that's saying a lot because I've not hidden the fact that I absolutely love the Spur. When I first saw this bike, I did not expect to like it as much. When I picked it up, I didn't expect to like it as much. The thing is super light, and what they said was it's 1.5 pounds lighter than the outgoing Signal Peak. Now, I've never ridden the outgoing or the current Signal Peak, but there was a couple things about this bike that really struck me. I'm old school. I'm 43. I've been riding mountain bikes for a long, long time. Longer, lower, slacker isn't always the best thing for me. So when I saw this bike, I automatically looked at it and said, okay, it's a large, it's a little bit shorter, it's a little bit more compact wheelbase, 67-degree head tube angle. These were things that resonated with me. As far as travel goes, 115 rear, 120 front. Now, I'm not certain, but I think this is one of two ways you can set this bike up. You can buy it like this, more of a trail mode, but you can also get one, I think, 100 that's basically an on-kill XC race missile. Now, I can only venture at how gnarly that bike is in regards to cross country, because what I can tell you about this is the thing pedals like an absolute rocket ship. I'm really impressed with the pedaling efficiency when it's completely open. Now this one has a Fox setup, and it's funny because there's another one here. It's an extra large and it came with the RockShox stuff. So I was looking at that thinking, man, maybe I can swap that stuff onto this bike because I don't want to ride this Fox stuff. Nothing against the Fox. I'm not saying it's bad. For me, it's difficult for me because I'm so dialed into the RockShox that's on the Spur and then also on the Epic Evo. So this has the float, DPS in the rear, but here's where I got a little concerned. It's got a Fox 34 step cast in the front. Now, I have 0 time on this step cast fork, but any 34s that I've ridden, they start to deflect a little bit on me. And when I look down at it, it's just kind of weird because I'm used to seeing those 35mm SID stanchions. Shocked, absolutely shocked and thoroughly impressed how well this fork has been working. We're at a spot that has some pretty chunky stuff and I'm charging it hard, like harder and harder each time I go through. And I have yet to bottom this fork out. I can't believe it. So the rear has worked incredibly well. This factory shock has that 3-position switch in the open mode, and I have been bouncing through that. So what I can tell you is the bike is incredibly confidence inspiring. It feels good, feels like a big BMX bike. When you get up out of the saddle and crank and pedal this thing, it just goes. But 67-degree head tube angle, little bit shorter wheelbase, 430mm chainstays, super snappy, and it just turns. So again, trying to gather these thoughts. We're still in the mix. We're still shooting all of this stuff to get you some footage. I mean, you're gonna see the footage. Maybe you've already seen the footage. I'm riding the heck out of this bike and I'm having a blast doing it. Cross country stuff, it's great. Pedals incredibly well. But the chunky stuff, the big jumps, like there's a jump over there off a bridge. I came blasting off it and caught the downside. I probably went 35 feet on this bike and I still didn't bottom it out. I'm impressed. across the board. This is a good setup right here, obviously. They sent me the goods, you know, it's got the axis. It's got, these are the Envy AM30 wheels. So I actually put these wheels on. It's got an aggressor in the rear and a DHF in the front. I wanted a little bit more tire with what I was gonna do. Not yet sure what this bike is gonna be spec'd with in regards to wheels in this trail version. So you got the Envy stem and the Envy bars, XTR brakes. Again, not certain that's what's going to be on the full production bike, but what I can tell you is I'm down to get X01, GX, doesn't matter to me. And I would even rage on this Fox suspension. I'm impressed. Now, I don't get to keep this bike very long. Unfortunately, I have to give it back in a day, but I'm really pressing hard to get my bike. And I've told them, I don't care, just get me one in the 115, 120 setup. Be cool to have the RockShox, but I'd run it like this. So hopefully I'll get it soon and get some more miles on it. But what I can tell you right now is my initial impression is it's rad. Like I'm really, really impressed. I'm having a lot of fun. Like this is a lot of work, but I haven't had this much fun riding this section of trail, and I've been here on a few different bikes. So yeah, I'm digging it. Hoping I can get mine soon. We can get some more time on it. We can give you a thorough review and I can share a little bit more about how I feel. But in the meantime, if you want to drop some comments below, I'm more than happy to give you my insight. There is a document waiting for me in my email that has all the geo numbers. So I don't know those now. I'll put those down below in the text as long as I'm okay to do it. On that note, I don't even know when the bike's coming. I'm hoping it's coming soon. I know they're waiting for some more frames, so patience is a virtue. It's definitely gonna be worth the wait. So in the meantime, man, follow along behind the scenes at the Rich Drew on Instagram. If you're digging the svelte look of these, this clothing here, this kit, this is Velocio. I'm digging it. Been wearing this stuff recently. The trail shorts are great. The shirts fit really well, so I'll drop a link below so you can check that stuff out. If you want to hit up a Ride Series Clinic, I'd love for you to do that. It's late in the game. We're going to go to a few different places. By the time this video's out, might be the end of the year. Not sure, but check it out, the rideseriesmtb.com. We're getting ready to release the 2022 schedule. We'll be going from the West Coast as far out east as we can. Now, if you want to come here to the mountain bike capital of the world, do some riding or do some on-trail coaching, we can certainly do that. So shoot us a message, info@therideseriesmtb.com. With that being said, it's time to go enjoy Outerbike. Man, maybe even a cider. We've earned it. So all I have left to say is peace out, dumpers.